US authorities are reportedly set to charge an alleged conspirator in Jeffrey Epstein's child sex network. Victims claim Ghislaine Maxwell helped Epstein in his criminal dealings over more than a decade. Epstein's arrest in July was one of the year's biggest crime stories. It exposed a vast, sordid conspiracy involving underage girls and the rich and powerful.
This is the Year in Review News.
Surrounded by famous friends and living a life of luxury, Jeffrey Epstein's public persona gave little hint of his despicable private behaviour.
What was referred to as a revolving door of young girls. He apparently had sometimes prostitutes and friends who were adult women procure these young girls to come into his home, and some have said that that was up to several girls per day.
FBI agents arrested the billionaire financier in July. He was charged with sex trafficking of minors. Authorities allege in his 2 Caribbean islands and massive estates in Florida and New York, Jeffrey Epstein forced girls to sexually please him.
The estimated dozens of victims were as young as 14 years old.
Epstein had already been convicted 11 years prior for child sexual abuse and given a surprisingly lenient 13-month sentence and allowed to leave prison during the days. Dozens of women came forward with harrowing stories, saying vulnerable young girls were recruited into Epstein's vast network and abused by him and his famous guests.
And I was terrified and I was telling him to stop. Please stop.
Prince Andrew was among those alleged to have been connected. He refutes allegations of abuse, but has stood down from royal duties after this car crash TV interview.
Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming? Yes.
Unbecoming? He was a sex offender?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being polite, in the sense that he was a sex offender.
Flight records show dozens of celebrities and politicians flew on Epstein's private plane dubbed the Lolita Express, including US President Bill Clinton. There have been suggestions Epstein was blackmailing his powerful guests and possibly working on behalf of an intelligence agency. But the full scope of Epstein's dealings may never be known. He was found dead in New York's Metropolitan Correctional Center while awaiting trial. The coroner ruled it a suicide. One forensic expert employed by the family suggests he may have been killed.
Although they lost Jeffrey Epstein, the biggest part of the case, the threads of this sex trafficking case are far wider than Epstein.
Brent O'Halloran, Sky News.